Hello everyone, welcome back to Dark World Carousel. Today's topic, publishing your work extended. This will be the continuation of a short that we did earlier today. So let's get into it. So you tried the digital download route, you tried the DistroKid route, you tried Spotify and iTunes and all of that, and you're still struggling. So what now? Well, now we get to take a step back and we get to take a breath. Just breathe, just breathe. I promise you it's going to be okay. And we ask ourselves, have we really been honest with our music? Have we really been going where we want to go with it? But there's one very solid way that is tried and true for real serious connection, and that will always be local distribution. Now, before I mentioned local distribution, and I'm still very avid about the fact that that is probably your best route when starting out, because let's be real here, not everybody, myself included, and we're not all meant to be the greats, you know? We're not meant to be the top tier. It's always great to try and give your best effort on it, but, you know, never feel bad about the fact that, you know, you're not the greatest of all time. We're not all meant to be, you know, Post Malone or Harrison or Hendrix. We're meant to be who we are, and we're meant to be doing what we're doing. But, you know, even if you only score like a 6 or 7 out of 10, you're still, you know, in the top 3, top 4. And there's pride in that, you know? There's pride in being capable of doing things. There are people that are capable of doing things and people that are not capable of doing things. And you happen to be one of these people that are capable of doing things. But anyway, local distribution. Now let's talk about physical product to start with. This can be anything from merchandise to CDs to, you know, those little cards that, you know, have the digital download on it. But the biggest reward for having physical product to show off is the fact that you can take a look at it and go, you know what? I made that. That's mine. I did that. That's got my name on it. And I know a lot of you out there are probably looking for the least expensive way to get in. You want to pay your way with what you actually work with, you know, like you want your music to pay for itself. And more power to you. I'm exactly the same way. But at the end of the day, you know, you have to eventually, you know, come to the grips with the fact that it's expensive to try to make a profession out of something, because you have to have pretty high quality stuff sometimes in order to make things work. If some guy in a basement can just make, you know, a bomb track, then what's the advantage of having you there if your bomb track is nowhere near as good a quality? And so this is the advantage that we have, and that's live shows. I swear they beat out 9 times out of 10 any of these other guys that make just the track, you know? The track is good, the track is necessary, but, you know, if you can't play it live, then what are you doing? Live shows are a gateway into personal connection with, you know, your local fan base, which are going to be your most important fan base, because they're the ones that saw you when you were taking off. They were the ones that went, oh my God, that person's going to make it, you know? And there's no price you can put on that tag. But if we take a step back for just a moment, you know, and we just take a look at the bigger picture here and see that this is a group effort. This is not just about us, you know? It's not just us that this music is for. In fact, we're probably the least important part of the music part, you know? Like, it's for them. That's why we're doing it. That's why we're here. And that's hopefully why you clicked on this video and stayed, is because of the fact that you know that what you were doing before wasn't working, and you want to know how to get further ahead. And I understand completely. That's why I made this. And finally, there's the demand. Now, this can vary depending on what genre you're in, or if you are experimenting with a whole new genre, that can be an entirely different adventure compared to, you know. So seriously ask yourself a question. Is there a demand for my music in the area that I'm in? And if yes, then you've got a real serious shot of, being a local sensation, which will get you established and through the door. But if there's not a demand for your music in your area, there's a few things you can do. You can either switch the area you're in, or you can switch the genre. Personally, I'm a particular fan of hard rock, but softer rock is much more approachable in my current area, so that's what I focus on. You can still make your dubstep or your hip hop or whatever genre that you're doing, but it's really important to know what is playing in your local venue, because if you can match that or even exceed that, you're going to have a much better time trying to get through the door. And I understand this isn't what everybody wants to hear. Like, this is not what you probably were expecting to get when you clicked on the video. But that's the truth of it, is the fact that, it's important to manage your expectations. But yeah, other than that, keep it steady and just keep doing what you're doing, and you will eventually make it. I promise you. It might take a while, but you're on the right track and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Thanks for another one, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you could leave a like, comment, and subscribe, I would love you forever. Other than that, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, guys.